Based on your initial schedule, that today roundups of criminal illegal aliens and the process of deporting them would begin. That seems to have been put on hold for a little while. When can we expect that to happen? Where will it begin?
No, it started. It
has started.
ICE teams are out there as of today.
Release the Kraken!
How many genders are there, Harry?
Yeah,
Come on, little guy. How many genders are there?
Again, these guys don't know what they're talking about, so they won't be able to
Harry,
answer
how
this
many
question.
genders are there?
Trump's not holding back. They are putting all forces on the front lines of the information war and ensuring the public gets the information on all of the bad actors all at once. The Dan Scavino post helps paint the picture today. We're going to look at that and some more amazing comms from the Q board. We are witnessing the greatest operation in our lifetime. We're going to hear about that also. Man, Tulsi Gabbard's on fire, Caroline Leavitt, and so many others. Folks, I can't wait to get through all this for you today so you can check it out. Remember that we have our inspiration tour at sea with LT Freedom Voyage 2026. It's already on the board, March 15th through the 22nd of 2026. I wanted to remind you that on this voyage, we're going to have special guests with us to do a basic panel on the stage of some of our favorites that we share every single day, just about. The Justice Cometh will be there, Real AF Patriot, Grasshopper 17, and Pepe Deluxe. So we're working on getting all those on board, and we're going to have a time where you can meet them and you can actually watch us on the stage as we discuss and answer questions and more. We're going to be talking about the Q board, and also I'll be doing presentations as if we're watching a podcast. So reminder that we're heading to Puerto Rico. Here's a quick video on that.
Tropical islands, white sand beaches, turquoise waters surrounding charming port cities. The Caribbean is the most popular cruise destination in the world for a reason. Discover the relaxing and spiritually rejuvenating experience of a Christian cruise to this spectacular region. For many travelers, the names of the islands themselves, Turks and Caicos, Grand Cayman, the Bahamas, warm the heart with wanderlust and the promise of rest. But a Christian cruise offers even more. Surrounded by like-minded believers, you'll whisper prayers of gratitude each morning as you arrive at a sunlit port. At each island paradise, you'll reconnect with God amid the peaceful scenery and friendly people. Your evenings on the ship will be filled with glorious Caribbean sunsets, unforgettable meals, and night after night of Bible study and worship. Get ready to get away and grow closer to God in the Caribbean.
Pretty amazing, folks. I'm looking forward to it. And so many have signed up so far. And I just keep reminding folks, it's really fast. People are joining, and I'm just overwhelmed and excited to see the feedback and so many joining. And now to our today's information.
At President Trump's direction and with the support and coordination with the House Intelligence Committee Chairman Rick Crawford, today we've released a declassified oversight majority staff report that was produced in September of 2020. The stunning revelations that we are releasing today should be of concern to every American. This is not about Democrats or Republicans. This has to do with the integrity of our democratic republic and American voters having faith that the votes cast will count. There is irrefutable evidence that detail how President Obama and his national security team directed the creation of an intelligence community assessment that they knew was false. They knew it would promote this contrived narrative that Russia interfered in the 2016 election to help President Trump win, selling it to the American people as though it were true. It wasn't. The report that we released today shows in great detail how they carried this out. They manufactured findings from shoddy sources. They suppressed evidence and credible intelligence that disproved their false claims. They disobeyed traditional tradecraft intelligence community standards and withheld the truth from the American people. In doing so, they conspired to subvert the will of the American people who elected Donald Trump in that election in November of 2016. They worked with their partners in the media to promote this lie, ultimately to undermine the legitimacy of President Trump and launching what would be a years-long coup against him and his administration. We're here today because the American people deserve the truth, they deserve accountability, and they deserve justice.
Amen. And it is happening. And these are the things that have been playing out in front of all of us. BioClandestine showed us this, a press release. ODNI, Justice Department, announces formation of strike force to assess evidence publicized by the ODNI. Department of Justice put out a press release confirming they have created that strike force. Bondi confirms she's working with Gabbard to deliver justice. Trump's entire team is operating cohesively. The decisions have already been made. This is unbelievable to watch. And watch this. You know, folks, we talk about the mainstream media, and they continue, even though every now and then they give you a little bit of positive, they continue to protect Obama at all costs. So as Tulsi Gabbard was speaking, watch what CNN does.
Multiple intelligence community assessments released in the months leading up to the November 2016 election concluded that Russia had neither the intent nor capability to impact the outcome of the U.S. election. On December 5th...
We've been listening there to the Director of National Intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard, continuing on what has now been a multi-day effort, not only with public statements like this, but release of documents, to attempt to back up the quite extreme allegation that President Obama is guilty of treason and that he worked in some sort of conspiracy with Hillary Clinton, etc., in the assessment by the intelligence community at the time that Russia interfered in the 2016 election.
They cut her off as she goes through the facts, starting with December, going through the details and more. I put that picture of her up there in uniform. By the way, they didn't put that there, just to remind you that she serves our country even today. I believe she's still in the reserves. Somebody can let me know otherwise. But I tell you what, pretty amazing stuff when even CNN is scared to have that play out. And of course, they try to keep their people brainwashed that these outlandish, these big adjectives they use to make it look like this is a stretch that they're using, and there's no way that it would ever play out. Well, if you think Trump and Tulsi are just doing this blindly and don't know the outcome, you're naive. Trump would not commit to something of this magnitude if he thought Bondi was compromised or wouldn't go after Obama. The decision has already been made. BioClandestine continues, trust in Trump. Just so we are clear, the Panikins just spent months smearing and demanding the firing of Tulsi, Bondi, Cash, and Bongino. These are the people who are currently criminally investigating Obama and his cabal. The Panikins are enemies, whether they know it or not. They have either been psyoped into doing the enemy's bidding, or they are intentionally trying to derail Trump's administration. They are trying to fire all the people currently in the middle of criminally investigating the deep state. They are either dumb or complicit, and at this point, I don't care which. All Panikins should be swiftly ignored and shunned like the scum that they are. They continue to be spectacularly wrong about everything. They are not part of MAGA. I could not agree more. Way to go, BioClandestine, on that. Eric Doherty showed us this just in. U.S. House Committee votes to subpoena Bill and Hillary Clinton as part of probe into Epstein files. Ghislaine Maxwell, that's Fox. James Comey, Loretta Lynch, Eric Holder, Merrick Garland, Robert Mueller, and others are on the subpoena list. Isn't it amazing that we know these names? Back in the past, folks, we hardly ever paid attention to anything like this, but man, now we are. And I tell you what, it gets even better. Representative James Comer said, I have issued a subpoena to Ghislaine Maxwell for a deposition to occur at Federal Correction Institution, Tallahassee, on August 11th, 2025. The Department of Justice is cooperating and will help facilitate. Absolutely phenomenal. And to the media, check this out.
Preparing for a Hillary Clinton victory. But at the unusual direction of Barack Obama at the time, the intel community published implausible intelligence suggesting otherwise. Why? To sabotage the incoming president. This is truly one of the greatest political scandals in American history. And reporters at legacy outlets, some of which are sitting in this room today, like the New York Times and the Washington Post, were ridiculously awarded Pulitzer Prizes for their perpetuation of this hoax. It's well past time for those awards to be stripped from the journalists who receive them. It is not journalism to propagate political disinformation in service of the Democrat Party and those in the intelligence community who hand over out of context and fake intelligence to push a false political narrative.
How about that? Going after the media again. Give up your Pulitzer Prize for lying. And so you think that the media actually has an effect on all of us? Oh, no. Oh, no. Ultra MAGA Dean Erickson posted this. What a great time to be alive. Check out what's trending on politics on X. 284,000 posts, President Obama. That's right. 18,000 posts on XRP ETF. Arrest Obama, 75,000 posts. Arrest Bill Gates. That's up there. Kohlberger. Release the Epstein. Kenyan. Remember, by the time we're done with Obama, he'll claim his Kenyan citizenship. Oh, yeah.
Do you believe that any of this new information implicates former President Obama in criminal behavior?
We have referred and will continue to refer all of these documents to the Department of Justice and the FBI to investigate the criminal implications of this.
For even former President Obama?
Correct. The evidence that we have found and that we have released directly point to President Obama leading the manufacturing of this intelligence assessment. There are multiple pieces of evidence and intelligence that confirm that fact.
Ed, go ahead.
Director Gabbard, thank you. So just two questions, but to begin on that. The president yesterday, you've inferred that the former president helped lead a coup. Based on what you now see, do you believe President Obama is guilty of treason?
I'm leaving the criminal charges to the Department of Justice. I'm not an attorney, but as I've said previously, when you look at the intent behind creating a fake manufactured intelligence document that directly contradicts multiple assessments that were created by the intelligence community, the expressed intent and what followed afterward can only be described as a years-long coup and a treasonous conspiracy against the American people, our republic, and an attempt to undermine President Trump's administration.
The Senate Intelligence...
Get him. Get this Obama character. Check this out. Professor Henry Graff said, I taught at Columbia for 46 years. I taught every significant American politician that ever studied at Columbia. I know them all. I'm proud of them all. Between American history and diplomatic history, one way or another, they all had to come through my classes. Not Obama. I never had a student with that name in any of my classes. I never met him, never saw him, never heard of him. None of the other Columbia professors knew him either. The truth is going to come out. The truth will be revealed. What's sealed? Oh, his Columbia college records are sealed, Obama's. Columbia thesis paper sealed. Harvard college records sealed. Selective service registration sealed. Medical records sealed. All of these things that you're looking at on your screen. Baptism record sealed. Michelle Obama can no longer practice law as an attorney. Why? Michelle, or Michael, has 22 assistants. Unbelievable how this continues to play out. President Trump continues to update us on how this is working out for him.
I'm pretty sure he's got HIV, the virus responsible for AIDS. AIDS, not good, but I don't want to speculate. In any case, as I was saying, people have been asking me about Ghislaine Maxwell.
So, of course, just a little humor. Somebody put this AI together showing what is going on with Obama and lacking in reality, substance, or genius. Somebody put these together, and they want you to know that these things are going to be revealed. And that one right there, AI generated, is more of what people are doing because they are sick and tired of watching Obama get by with what he's done to our country and more. And so wanted to show you this also.
A spokesperson for former President Obama said in a statement earlier this week, quote, "Nothing in the documents issued last week undercuts the widely accepted conclusion that Russia worked to influence the 2016 election, but did not successfully manipulate any votes." How do you respond to critics like former President Obama and also others on the Hill who say that the administration is conflating apples and oranges here, conflating allegations of actual hacking of voter machines and allegations of interference generally?
I think it's a disservice to the American people that former President Obama's office and others who are criticizing the transparency that is being delivered by releasing these documents. They are doing a disservice to the American people and trying to deflect away from their culpability in what is a historic scandal and negative action towards the American people and our democratic republic. The answer to that statement can very clearly be found throughout all of the documents that we have released. Again, showing that Russia has took action to try to sow discord in the election, but showed no preference for or against any singular candidate.
Outstanding. Check this out. It'll help you out. Folks, it's amazing what they've been doing to us throughout this earth to hurt us physically. We've talked about many of these things like chemtrails and others, but man, who would have known that all these missiles being sent all over the place would actually have an effect on our health? We had an amazing interview, if you guys missed it, with Kim Bright of Brightcore, going over these microplastics from missiles and what that means to us. And it's just a phenomenal interview. And what she found, the study finds that microplastics in blood clots, linking them to higher risk of heart attacks and strokes. And she gave us a phenomenal breakdown of all of these issues that people actually have with microplastics in things that we drink and more. And so the amazing interview that she really showed us that the Kimchi 1 that they developed is phenomenal. It binds and flushes the microplastic toxins. It supports gut barrier integrity, combats inflammation at the source, proven detox power, and it restores the microbial balance. You know, kimchi has been shown to effectively fight against funguses, bacteria, viruses, and parasites. Absolutely amazing what it's done for me also. And right now, Brightcore is giving 25% off with code AUK if you click on the description box below of mybrightcore.com/andweknow. But you know what? You get 50% off or up to 50% off and free shipping if you give them a call at 888-317-9941. That's 888-317-9941. Get your Kimchi 1 today.
First on Secretary Rubio, he put out a statement in 2020 following that Senate Intelligence Committee report, and he said what they found is troubling. We found irrefutable evidence of Russian meddling, which the Director of National Intelligence just confirmed for all of you, that Russia was trying to sow distrust and chaos. But what's the outrage in this that Secretary Rubio did not say at the time, the Democrats were saying at the time, is the fact that the intelligence community was concocting this narrative that the president colluded with the Russians, that the president's son was holding secret meetings with the Russians, all of these lies that were never true. And he also said at that time, we discovered deeply troubling actions taken by the FBI under Comey, particularly their acceptance and willingness to rely on the Steele dossier without verifying its methodology or sourcing. The Steele dossier that many outlets in this room ran as the gospel truth, and it was cooked up and paid for by the Clinton campaign.
That's right.
As for your second question, Caitlin, I think who is saying that she would release this to try to boost her standing with the president? Who has said that?
Well, the president has publicly undermined her when it came to Iran. He said she was wrong. He told me that she didn't know what she was talking about. That was on Air Force One on camera.
The only people who are suggesting that the Director of National Intelligence would release evidence to try to boost her standing with the president are the people in this room who constantly try to sow distrust and chaos amongst the president's cabinet, and it is not working. I will just answer your question directly. I am with the President of the United States every day. He has the utmost confidence in Director Gabbard. He always has. He continues to. And that is true of his entire cabinet, who is all working as one team to deliver on the promises this president made.
Boom. Take that, CNN. I've had enough of her. I don't even know why they let her in there anymore. So we had a post from Dan Scavino Jr., if you're looking at your screen. He posts a red sun, Washington, D.C. Posting 3574 seconds after his tweet on Truth, pointing to Comey and Soros. Q3574, rig for red. Isn't that amazing? How rig for red connects exactly with the drop that was posted by Dan Scavino. How about that? Corn ready for harvest. We're ready for harvest to get these folks taken down. It's now July 27th. Now check the other comms in his gap code. So that would be July 27th on the Intel board that was released. Check this out. The streets will not be safe for them. Clean. Stage drops will go fast. White House clean. Marker everything. Everything's planned in years. Message. Unity. Awakening. We fight. Lexington, Concord. Stay together. Get ready, folks. It's going to get better and better every single day. Joe Lang, can you see what Trump is emphasizing? And now connecting to Obama and his merry little band of co-conspirators? Election fraud. Do you think that's just a coincidence? Trump is baiting Obama and the media some more because he knows what's coming. Obama tried to rig the election in 2016, and the military prevented it. Obama then rigged the election in 2020, and the military allowed it so that we could gather all the evidence. It's the biggest sting operation in history. Then Obama tried to steal the election again in 2024, and the military prevented it. Why? So that now we can expose it all and completely transform our nationwide election system, along with prosecuting all these traitors. Thank you for playing. Speaking of the election, real quick, wanted to show you Rod D. Martin posting this. Mike Lindell won a $5 million appeal. That's right. The courts just tossed the bogus arbitration that tried to bankrupt him for exposing the 2020 election fraud. Truth is catching up, and the deep state is panicking big time, folks. There are crumbs dropping everywhere. Remember back in 2021, Lindell offered $5 million to anyone who could prove his election data didn't show foreign interference. A software engineer tried and failed, but the guy sued anyway. Sued him. And a sketchy arbitration panel overturned the contest rules. The arbitration board just made up new contract terms out of thin air. The goal? Bury Lindell, discredit the evidence, and silence election fraud claims. But the 8th Circuit Court of Appeals just unanimously reversed the ruling. They slammed the arbitration panel for exceeding its authority, rewriting an unambiguous contract, violating precedent and state law. This is massive. The deep state tried to destroy Lindell just like they did with Dinesh D'Souza, Trump, Bannon, Navarro, and others. They lawfare you until you give up, but Lindell didn't. He wouldn't. And now he's vindicated. Lindell called the suit a setup, and he was right. Now declassified FBI docs show they knew in 2020 that China had created huge numbers of fake mail-in ballots and voter IDs, proving the regime suppressed the truth and went after anyone who tried to expose it. They weren't proving Lindell wrong, they were covering tracks. Remember what Lindell actually claimed, that China interfered in the 2020 election, that evidence existed in the new raw data. The media called him crazy, but the FBI knew it was true and hid it. This is bigger than $5 million. This is about narrative control. They tried to discredit Lindell, bankrupt dissent, shut down evidence, protect a stolen election, but the court just blew that up. The 2020 cover-up is collapsing. Lindell's win is part of a broader shift. Trump declassifications, China ballot fraud exposed, Obama's and Biden's team under investigation, indictments coming. They're losing control of the story, and they're losing it fast. Mike Lindell stood when it would have been easier to fold. They mocked him, sued him, tried to ruin him. Now he's winning, and the truth about 2020 is finally breaking through. This is just the beginning. Absolutely brilliant. You know, it's been coming out now throughout X and more that Hillary, records were showing that she was messed up pretty much physically. She had a psychological problem. Yeah, it's really big. Big news on this. Check out what Tulsi said.
Hillary Clinton's presidential campaign. There were high-level DNC emails that detailed evidence of Hillary's, quote, psycho-emotional problems, uncontrolled fits of anger, aggression, and cheerfulness, and that then Secretary Clinton was allegedly on a daily regimen of heavy tranquilizers. Then CIA director...
Heavy tranquilizers. The one that was supposed to, that they were saying would be a great leader for our country. The one that was going to destroy our country. There it is. Heavy tranquilizers. Right there on your screen. All getting leaked out for everyone to see. Russia hid Clinton health issues. Tulsi Gabbard's recent declassification exposes Russia had a stash of damaging details about Hillary Clinton that could have ended her campaign. Check this out, folks. We've gone from Obama working to destroy President Trump, spying on his campaign, trying to discredit his election and more, to then Hillary Clinton exposing her for what was wrong with her physically and why we saw her shaking her head funny, why she was bobbling around all the time, why she laughed funny and her head turned funny with her mouth wide open. Remember that? All of this is coming out at once. Insider reports said she was using strong sedatives due to worsening mental health. Wow, imagine that. Documentary revealed serious medical problems like chronic fatigue and heart issues. Secret meetings with religious groups where Clinton reportedly promised big State Department grants for support. Party insiders admitted EU allies saw her as unfit and quietly hoped she'd lose. Obama and party leaders found her health extraordinarily alarming. Obama pushed the hoax that Russia was helping Trump and targeting Hillary, yet they sat on explosive intel that could have sunk her campaign. Make it make sense. Well, I'll make it make sense. The evil ones at the top of the three-letter agencies were working together with people that we don't see their names, but they don't put it in front of us, but they're the puppet masters. And they want to stay in control, and they wanted to control the entire earth, like Hunger Games movie. They wanted to destroy our country. Our country founded on biblical principles. It's not working because our Heavenly Father heard our prayers, and great things are happening.
You are literally watching the most brilliant operation to save the world from evil in all of human history. Nothing like this has ever happened before. Nothing like this will ever happen again. This is it. This is it. We are experiencing the takedown of the satanic structures, satanic networks, satanic forces, and the new birth of all of creation. It's not happening in the twinkling of an eye. It's happening through process. And this process can build us, can empower us, can transform us, so we can become builders of a new world with great vision, incredible creativity, with unbelievable dreams, and with the Almighty Creator who makes it all happen. Guys, we are in a time that is indescribable.
Indescribable. Absolutely brilliant. Thank you, StopWorldControl.com. David Sorensen, absolutely amazing intel and information that he puts out from us. Very biblical indeed. And we have been enjoying that. So the takedown of the deep state is happening. James Clapper actually went on the Communist News Network to really try to defend all that's going on and the allegations against him. And it's going to be brilliant to watch him as his eyes twitch back and forth. He's very uncomfortable with the questioning, and he tries all he can to say, this is craziness, right? Before I show you that, check this out. Addiction recovery takes more than just time. It takes energy, clarity, and hope. And no matter how broken you feel, healing is possible. And there's a way to restore your brain, your body, and your spirit. At New Spring Wellness, your brain restoration program addresses the physiological changes in the brain caused by substance use, aging, and chronic stress.
It literally, those cravings for me, it was a constant. Every second I was awake, I would wake up in the morning, okay, what do I need to get done today till I can go get my alcohol? And it got to the point where I started drinking earlier and earlier, and to where it just controlled my life.
Their brain restoration protocol reduces cravings, supports mental clarity, and restores energy, giving you the strength to take back control. At New Spring Wellness, they approach recovery with both a medical and faith-based approach. Through Jesus Christ, they find hope, redemption, and the strength to overcome with brain restoration and faith in Him. You can step into a new beginning. Your past does not define you. Through Christ, all things are made new. Give them a call at 573-577-3400 or go in the description box below to newspringwellnesscenter.com/and we know. Start your journey to sober living today.
When the director says that she's referred these filings to the Justice Department for a criminal investigation, tonight we're told they formed what is called a strike force. Do you have concerns that they will attempt to prosecute you?
Well, certainly I do. After 8.5 years of this, and I don't know of an intelligence product that was more scrutinized, more investigated than that product was by numerous people. It's very disconcerting. It really is. And I take seriously when the President of the United States accuses me of being a participant in a treasonous conspiracy, which is ridiculous.
Yeah, what's your reaction to that?
It's ridiculous. It is untrue.
So what will you do if they come after you?
Do you see that? It's untrue as he shakes his head. It's untrue, shaking his head left and right. This guy is losing his mind.
It's very disconcerting. It really is. And I take seriously when the President of the United States accuses me of being a participant in a treasonous conspiracy, which is ridiculous.
Yeah, what's your reaction to that?
It's ridiculous. It is untrue.
So what will you do if they come after you? What is your plan?
Yeah, what are you going to do?
I'll lawyer up, I suppose. Already have.
Oh, you already
You've
have?
hired attorneys in anticipation that this Trump Justice Department could try to prosecute you.
We've had sort of perpetual attorneys since I left the government in 2017.
How about that? Somebody's in panic mode. Old Clapper. It's all going to fall apart. These folks were mocking President Trump for many years. They never thought that President Trump would run. They never thought if he ran that he'd win. But President Trump posted this late last night as a reminder for all to see how this played out and why President Trump made his big move and how he's protecting our nation. These losers can do nothing but laugh at you, especially when I believe they were nervous back then, wondering if Trump would actually run for president. I think that they actually even had intel. They were probably listening in on him talking about running for office. And that's why at these dinners and other places on late night shows and more, why they mocked him and made fun of him, trying to keep him from running.
Changed politics forever.
Donald Trump is here tonight.
It was April 30th, 2011, the White House Correspondents' Dinner. A ballroom packed with elites, politicians, journalists, and celebrities. But what they didn't know was that they had just created their worst nightmare.
Congratulations, Mr. President.
Sitting in the crowd that night was Donald Trump. Not yet a politician, just an extremely rich businessman. A guy who dared to challenge the system and got mocked for it.
Donald Trump has been saying that he will run for president as a Republican, which is surprising since I just assumed he was running as a joke.
For weeks, Trump had been hammering Obama on his birthplace of Kenya. And the media, they couldn't handle it. So they did what the elites do best. They tried to humiliate him. And that night, Barack Hussein Obama took the stage and made Trump the punchline.
No one is happier, no one is prouder to put this birth certificate matter to rest than the Donald. And that's because he can finally get back to focusing on the issues that matter. Like, did we fake the moon landing?
The room absolutely loved it. They weren't laughing at a joke, they were laughing at Trump. They wanted him small, embarrassed, and broken. Obama kept swinging, mocking Trump's business, his TV show, and his ambition.
All kidding aside, obviously we all know about your credentials and breadth of experience. Just recently, in an episode of Celebrity Apprentice, at the steakhouse, the men's cooking team did not impress the judges from Omaha Steaks. And there was a lot of blame to go around, but you, Mr. Trump, recognized that the real problem was a lack of leadership. And so ultimately you didn't blame Little John or Meatloaf. You fired Gary Busey.
Then came that fake image on the screen. The White House turned into a Trump casino.
Say what you will about Mr. Trump. He certainly would bring some change to the White House. Let's see what we've got up there.
The media howled, but Trump didn't move. That image, Trump sitting still while everyone else laughed, that was the moment. You can almost hear it in his head. Just you wait and see. Then it got worse. The host that night, liberal comedian Seth Meyers, picked up where Obama left off.
Donald Trump often appears on Fox, which is ironic because a fox often appears on Donald Trump's head. If you're at the Washington Post table with Trump and you can't finish your entree, don't worry, the fox will eat it.
The room roared, but Trump didn't flinch. He sat there surrounded by smug elites who thought they had crushed him. They didn't realize they had actually just activated him. And as the night went on, Trump left early. No after parties, no cameras. But that night didn't fade. It burned. Roger Stone later said it plainly, that's the night he decided to run.
Maybe I'll just run. Maybe I'll show them all.
Trump never admitted it directly, but he didn't have to. Because 4 years later, he came down that escalator.
Donald Trump is running for president and made his entrance by coming down the escalator at Trump Tower with his wife, Melania.
We need somebody that literally will take this country and make it great again.
The same media that laughed in 2011 laughed again in 2015.
We better be ready for the fact that he might be leading the Republican ticket next.
I know you don't believe that.
Embarrassing.
They said he didn't stand a chance.
Donald Trump will not become president.
He's not going to be president.
Donald Trump, just last week, he confirmed that he is again considering a run in 2016.
Do it.
My mother always said, be careful what you wish for, because you'll get it. And then people get jealous and try to take it away from you.
They mocked the slogan, they mocked his supporters, they mocked you. But Trump didn't care. He started winning.
This has been an amazing evening. Already we've won 5 major states, and it looks like we could win 6 or 7 or 8 or 9.
One by one, he crushed the GOP field. Jeb Bush
is a low energy person.
Marco Rubio.
Don't worry about it, little Marco.
And Ted Cruz.
You know, Lion Ted Cruz came today. He couldn't draw 100 people. 100 people.
Then he turned to Hillary, the ultimate swamp creature.
Honestly, she has less energy than Jeb Bush. Admit it.
And on November 8th, 2016, he won.
I've just received a call from Secretary Clinton. She congratulated us. It's about us. On our victory.
And the same people that laughed that night in 2011, they were silently crying in a corner. The punchline had become their president. They tried to stop him again, they impeached him, censored him, rigged debates, but Trump refused to go away. And in 2024, he won again. That dinner in 2011 was supposed to be the end of Trump. Instead, it was the beginning. The elites tried to humiliate him, but he took their mockery and turned it into a movement. He never forgot, and in the end, he got the last laugh. And this was the moment that changed politics forever.
Sure enough, changed it. Never are we going to see anything like it again in our lifetime. Other folks they go after, Alina Habba. Rod Martin put this out. Rogue judges tried to override Trump's authority by firing U.S. Attorney Alina Habba and replaced her with her deputy. So the DOJ just fired the deputy instead, right? We talked about that yesterday. This is what fighting the deep state looks like. Trump versus the judicial coup in New Jersey. Alina Habba, Trump's former lawyer, was appointed U.S. attorney for New Jersey, acting until she gets confirmed by the Senate. She cracked down on crime and embarrassed corrupt Democrat elites. Naturally, Democrat-appointed judges wanted her gone. Under a legal loophole, judges can vote to replace an acting U.S. attorney after a 120-day interim term. So they did. They replaced Haba with her deputy, Desiree Grace. But Trump's DOJ nuked the move by firing Grace on the spot. Pam Bondi made it clear, crystal clear. We do not tolerate rogue judges, especially when they threaten the president's core Article 2 powers. This isn't just about Haba. It's about who controls the executive branch, voters, or unelected judges. Why do the judges hate Haba? She arrested Newark's Democrat mayor for trespassing. She promised to make New Jersey safe again. She said on a podcast she wanted to turn New Jersey red. And worst of all, she was effective. So it's pure obstruction. Trump means for her to get confirmed. Senators Cory Booker and Andy Kim refused to give her a blue slip, an old Senate courtesy that can block confirmation, but the blue slip is a courtesy. It is a courtesy, not a law. And Trump isn't going to let Dems abuse norms. Trump isn't just replacing bureaucrats. He's tearing down the deep state piece by piece. Judges who want to run the DOJ now have a problem. Trump's back, and he's in charge. This isn't just New Jersey. It's a warning to the whole system. Article 2 means elected presidents control the executive branch, not the rogue judges. And under Trump, the Constitution is back in vogue. Dan Scavino Jr. sent out a reminder of this post that he put out May 15th of 2023. President Trump and his entire administration spent the entire 4 years in the White House relentlessly under attack regarding Russia, all 4 years. Many lives were destroyed over this. Meanwhile, it all came from the Democratic Party, who perpetuated nothing but lies to take down a man they despise and hate, Donald J. Trump. Mark my words, this will make him stronger and support will continue to grow to put him back in 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. And that's exactly what they did. You know, President Trump just signed 3 executive orders to ensure that the United States wins the AI race, the artificial intelligence race. He's accelerating permitting to build data center infrastructure, promoting the export of American AI models abroad, protecting Americans from woke AI models driven by radical left ideology at the expense of accuracy. So good.
And perhaps most importantly, winning the AI race will demand a new spirit of patriotism and national loyalty in Silicon Valley and long beyond Silicon Valley. For too long, much of our tech industry pursued a radical globalism that left millions of Americans feeling distrustful and betrayed. And you know that. Everybody knows that. Everybody in this room certainly does. Many of our largest tech companies have reaped the blessings of American freedom while building their factories in China, hiring workers in India, and slashing profits in Ireland. You know that. All the while dismissing and even censoring their fellow citizens right here at home. Under President Trump, those days are over. We need U.S. technology companies to be all in for America. We want you to put America first. You have to do that. That's all we ask. That's all we ask.
Part of the censorship would be, it'd be nice if they finally gave Google a call and said, hey, how about these YouTube channels that you're censoring? It's about time you put them back up. We've had enough. Here's Press Secretary Caroline talking about the big deals that President Trump's been making.
Yesterday, President Trump accomplished something no other president has ever achieved. The president secured and announced 3 major trade deals with the Philippines, Indonesia, and Japan, all in one day. President Trump is finally putting a stop to our country getting ripped off. As a result of the president's successful negotiating tactics, many foreign markets are now being opened to American industries for the very first time.
Amen.
And harmful trade barriers are being broken down.
That's right.
Thanks to President Trump, these countries around the world are agreeing to open their markets to American-made products and goods for the first time, which will lead to a boom in sales and profits for American businesses right here at home.
That's right. You know, it's amazing. The Trump economy is roaring. Gas prices are down 10% since last year. $100 billion in tariff revenue collected. Retail sales up 0.6% since May. $2 trillion in new investments. And inflation is below 3%. All this money talk just gets me excited about silver, folks. The breakout and measured upside target. We talked about that last week with Dr. Kirk Elliott. I'm imploring you to go check it out if you missed it. And it's amazing because you can actually reach out to Dr. Kirk Elliott in the description box below at andweknow.com/gold and get all your answers, you know, to the questions that you have regarding precious metals, gold, silver, and they'll pray with you also over there. It is absolutely brilliant. Another great thing, the U.S. Olympic Committee bans transgender women from competing against American women in the Olympics. In response to President Trump's, all of this playing out makes you wonder, again, why President Trump is doing what he's doing. It's crimes against children, but it's to protect us as Americans. You know, Dan Scavino, again, posted another picture of a flag at 1817 military time. 1817. So when we go to 1817 on the board, it says, fellow patriots, what you're about to learn should not only scare you, but intensify your resolve to take back control, freedom. The information that will become public will further demonstrate the criminal and corrupt pure evil abuse of power that the Hussein administration undertook in joint effort with domestic and foreign dignitaries. The snowball has begun rolling. There is no stopping it now. D5. Stay the course and trust the plan. Protective measures are in place and remain brave. We knew this day would come. United we stand. Where we go we go all. We fight. Conspiracy no more. Conspiracy no more. A lot going on. Many folks are getting the reminders of how this has been playing out for so many years. You know, they had to get this out day after day. They're getting us ready, folks. Tulsi Gabbard, getting us ready for what's going to unfold. They have to get into the psyche of the people so when this all plays out, the people will start recognizing that Obama is not who they thought he was, and they're going to ask for the arrest of Obama. Well, it's happening. If they would have just arrested him and didn't explain well to us, and we had to backtrack and go, let me explain why we did this, it would be a big headache for the country. They have to get into the brains of the folks, get them ready and prepare them. And by the time they're done researching and realize, oh, that's right, that's what Obama did because they thought he was such a nice guy. Oh, no. They'll learn, they'll grow, and then they'll demand the arrest. So that when he is arrested, along with others, it should be a lot easier than expected, and the public will be waiting for it. It's amazing, this operation playing out for all to see. I'm loving it. And we have the reminder, once again, to follow Bolton. Clean stage, learn how to archive offline. The streets will not be safe for them. Q.
For nothing is secret that shall not be made manifest, neither anything hid that shall not be known and come abroad.
Let's pray. Heavenly Father, how good you are. Your grace and your mercy is just absolutely overwhelming for us. We don't deserve it, but you love us so much, and we're thankful for that. We're thankful for how you put this plan together to rescue our nation after many prayers for not only the destruction of these evil ones and exposure, but also a great revival across our country. We thank you for the daily bread you provide us. We thank you for the reminder that we should pray, that we can come to you any moment, 24/7, and make our petitions known to you and come boldly before your throne with these requests. We ask that all of those that are doing this now, the exposure would be protected, as the enemy still has pockets of people that want them gone. We're looking forward to that time when we see the evil ones arrested and even expose the ones that are behind the shadows. May we see them and watch them put away. May our food get clean. May our air become clean. And may we celebrate and watch our children grow up in a wonderful nation. We bring all this before your throne, again asking for protection for all of our military, all of the folks on the front lines in harm's way, and also for our own family. We bring this to you in the name of your Son, Jesus Christ, Yeshua. Amen and amen. Folks, thank you so much of the information that's needed to be, provided to all of us to keep us moving forward. I do it in honor, and I do it knowing that you guys are praying for us, and we sincerely appreciate that. I heard from so many on the cruise when we met each person. Each of you had plenty of things to talk about, and we had a lot of hugs, a lot of tears, and my biggest thing that I was just thankful for is your thanks to us and to our entire team of all the work that's being done to ensure that everyone hears the good news of how this is all playing out. So thank you for that. Again, we thank you also for signing up for the cruise, those that have done it. And just a reminder, so many are jumping on board, and we're looking forward to meeting you all next March. It'll be here before you know it. For now, this is LT, Semper Fi, with them we know, signing out.
Roundups of criminal illegal aliens and the process of deporting them would begin. That seems to have been put on hold for a little while. When can we expect that to happen? Where will it begin?
No, it started.
It has started.
ICE teams are out there as of today.
Release the Kraken!
How many genders are there, Harry?
Yeah,
Come on, little guy. How many genders are there?
Again, these guys don't know what they're talking about, so they won't be able
Harry,
to answer
how many
this question.
genders are there?